Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play. To start off today's episode, I just thought I'd quickly talk about why I didn't upload last weekend. So I've been trying to upload every single weekend, and I've managed that for the last 20 to 25 weeks. But last week, I just didn't have a great week overall. I got a little bit ill, and I was working 7 days last week instead of the 5 that I usually work. My car also broke down, so it was just quite a bad week in general. And I did try to start recording last episode, but I just wasn't really motivated to do it. So I decided to just cut the episode and then restart it again this week instead. So that's the reason I didn't upload. I'm starting to feel better now anyway, so I'm more motivated to play. So I think it's a good thing that I took a week off, and I've got more time to record this episode. And even though there was a longer gap in between episodes, I didn't really play on the world too much in between them. But I've done a few things, so I'm just going to show you around what I've been doing. First of all, I found a few more of the items that got added in the 1.17 update. So there is these earth mist clusters. These are found in the geode things. I went to collect these before, but I used fortune on them instead. And if you use fortune, you get these shards. So I got quite a few of the shards. But I went back there, or I think I went to a different one, and I used silk touch this time, and then I got these clusters. And there's actually 4 different types of them. I'm not entirely sure what they're useful for, maybe you can farm these or something. But I managed to find 4 different types, so I collected all 4 of them. And I also managed to find some of the moss blocks here. So I found a wandering trader who was just out here somewhere down in that hole in the last episode. And I went to trade with him on camera and got the moss blocks. But I kind of cut that footage just because I wasn't uploading that episode. So I got one of these moss blocks, and then if you don't know, you can use bone meal on them, and then you can grow a few of the other different blocks like the carpets, and also the whatever these are called. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but you can get them as well. So I just thought I'd give a quick demonstration of this. So if I plant a moss block right here, I can use some bone meal on it. You can see it grows a few of these little tree things. And then it sometimes grows the carpets as well, but it didn't grow any this time. And I also found out that if you plant a drip leaf like this, you can use bone meal on this and it will grow bigger. So now it's a big drip leaf, and I can just keep growing this and it'll keep getting higher and higher. And then when it gets to the top, I can break it, and then it'll give me loads of big drip leaves. So you can see them all falling down here, and these are the big ones. So this is how I've got some of these as well. But the weird thing about this is that it replaces all of the blocks. So before there was like diorite and stone here, and now it's been turned into moss. So it might be difficult to farm this stuff, but I might try and make a farm for it eventually because I kind of like how it looks. So I've added all of those items to this checklist now. So I'm getting most of them, but I know there's still a few more to collect. And for some reason on Java Edition there is candles. You can make them with wax or something like that, and you can have all of the different colours. But I just don't know how to craft them, or if they're even available on Bedrock Edition. But they actually look kinda cool, and I wanted to use some for the chandelier in there. But I just couldn't figure out how to craft them, so I'm not entirely sure if those are on Bedrock Edition yet. And you can also see that I've been collecting most of the copper blocks here. So I've just been placing them over here and then waiting for them to oxidise or whatever. So I've got 2 of each, or I did have 2 of each. But then I used some wax on them, so that's why I've got the little bee set up over here. So I've just been getting the, I think it's honeycomb by using the shears. I don't know where it went that time, it went there. So I get about 3 each time, and then I can go over here, I'll get one of these out, and then I can just wax it in my inventory like this. So this is the oxidized copper, and if I put it in here you can see that I've got the normal version of it up here. So just oxidized copper, and then here is the wax version. So I'm going to do this for every single type. And then I'm pretty sure this is all of the stuff that I need to get. I just need to wait for this stuff over here to fully oxidize, which sometimes takes quite a while. This is actually done right now. But like I said, sometimes it takes ages. Like I put these down all at the same time, and there's some of them that finished oxidizing completely, and there's other stuff that was still on the first stage. So I don't know why some of it takes so long and some of it's like quite quick. It's kind of annoying to wait for it. So I think now I do just need to wait for those 2 over there to fully oxidise. And I think that's every single type of copper. And of course I need to use the wax on a few of them as well. Okay, so on to the next thing that I did in between episodes. You can see up here that I did a little bit more digging. So I wasn't really feeling too well, and sometimes I just enjoy to come on here and flatten out a bit of land. So this is what I did, and I put the pink wall down. This is where the wall went up to before. If anyone remembers what the base was like, this was where the hill started. So I've dug back all the way to there. I had to set up a beacon over here, and I actually robbed this beacon from over near my gold farm. I've got a regeneration beacon over there. I had to steal it because I'm running low on beacons. So I actually want to go to the end soon and see if I can kill another wither. Somebody said that the method I used doesn't work anymore, so I just thought I'd test that out. But there's a few more things that I want to show first. So you can see here that I've got a little bit more digging to do over this side, and then there's still actually quite a lot to do over on the other side. And then of course I've got to make sure it's all grass because I don't want all of the stone and granite and stuff showing. So I'm going to cover all of this in with grass, and then I'm also going to get a few moss blocks or the moss carpets. I think I'm going to hide some lighting under them, because last time I used the green carpets, but I think the moss carpets would look better. So I'm going to use that this time round. And one more thing that I did in between episodes is I built a dripstone farm over here. I actually showed myself building this on camera, but like I said, I just scrapped the last episode and deleted the footage. So it's quite a simple farm, it's not really complicated at all. You can see all of the pistons and the observers here, and then round the back the redstone is extremely simple. So I've just got a row of blocks behind the observers, then I've got some redstone underneath and some redstone on top as well. And the reason I built this thing over here near the starter house is because I've got the iron farm over here, and I was running a little bit low on iron. I didn't really have too much left. So I've been staying AFK over here in the house, and I've been getting lots of iron. I've got more than this back at the base as well that I've put over there, and I've also been getting a little bit of dripstone. Now this stuff does actually grow extremely slowly, so in about 14 hours of AFK, this is how much I managed to get, so not even 2 stacks in that time. And there is 20 different spots for the dripstone to grow. It's just so slow. I didn't actually realise how slow it was until I built this farm. But yeah, this is the reason that I've built it now, and the reason I decided to build the farm now is because I heard that this stuff did grow slowly, but I didn't quite realise how slowly. And I thought that if I'm going to need it in the future, it's going to be quite a pain to farm it up and get it like quite quickly. So I thought I'd just build it now, then I'll stay AFK over here a few times now and again so I can get some iron, and then I can stock up on a little bit of it, and if I ever need it for a build or anything, I'll just have it there. And one of the problems with building this farm is that the dripstone blocks are actually quite hard to get, because you need to get 4 of these for 1 dripstone block. Then obviously this stuff grows extremely slowly. So one more thing that I did in between episodes is just start trading with some villagers over here. And I actually didn't do this to get dripstone. I was doing this because I needed some bricks, because I want to build something today out of bricks. So I got a few, I think, stone smiths over here. And you can see that, I don't think it's this one actually, but they do have the brick trade as the first one, they all have that. But if I go over to this one, I think it is, he has the dripstone block for 1 emerald. So it's actually a really good trade, so that's how I got the dripstone. You can see that all of these have the brick trade as the first one, and it is kind of annoying to go and get clay and then smelt it up into bricks. It's a lot easier just to get it from the villagers, so that's why I've got these over here. And I've got plenty of bricks over at the base for today's build. And before I get on with what I want to do in today's episode, I just thought I'd quickly mention that that dripstone farm probably isn't going to stay there. I will build a better one over in the farming district. But like I said, I just wanted to build one over here, just a quick one, so I can get loads of iron and then get some dripstone at the same time. So it just seemed like a good idea to build it there, but it won't be staying there forever. And if anyone remembers at the end of the last episode, I know it was like 2 weeks ago now, but I got some of these axolot things over here, and I started breeding them up, and for some reason they're all just kind of stuck in the hole at the bottom now. So I haven't really been breeding them up too much in between episodes, but I did find out from TikTok that it's 1 in 1,200, and that is the chance that a blue axolot is going to spawn if you breed 2 of these. So because I don't have any blue axolots, that is the chance of a blue one spawning when I breed these up. But I think once I have a blue one, it becomes more likely that the offspring is going to be blue. And I think if I get 2 of them, it's a 100% chance that it would be a blue one if I breeded them up. I think that's how it works, I'm not entirely sure, but I do know it's a 1 in 1,200 chance of a blue one spawning. So what I want to do next in today's episode is test something out. So I've already mentioned this. I want to go and kill the wither in the end because some guys said that my method doesn't work anymore. So I just want to go over there, I'll test it out and see if it does work. It might have got patched in the 1.17 update. So I collected these wither skulls just before I started recording today. It actually took me about an hour. I didn't get any wither skulls whatsoever for about 50 minutes, and then I managed to get 3 in 10 minutes. So it's a little bit weird how that worked out. But I'm just going to head to the end, and then we'll see if this method still works. So I'm in the end, and I'm going to go underneath the portal. I've already got the obsidian set up here. I'm not going to talk too much about how I do this because I've got a tutorial for it, and then I've also done it in my Let's Play like 2 or 3 times before as well. So once I place this third skull, the wither will spawn. So I'm going to place it now, and so far it looks like it's all working. The wither seems to be trapped in there. I've got my Smite 5 sword just to kill it a little bit quicker. So I'm going to wait for it to explode. I'm going to run in and kill it, and it seems to be working just fine, so I'm not really sure what that guy was on about when he said that it doesn't work anymore. He probably just did it wrong and then assumed that the tutorial didn't work. But you can see there it took like 10 or 15 seconds to kill. There's no real issues. So it blows up and then I get the wither star. So I don't really know what that guy was on about, but it does still work fine. So every time I come to kill the wither, this is when I'm going to come to do it. Okay, so now I can get on with the main project that I want to do in today's episode. And I assume it's in the thumbnail and title, so you already know when it's going to be. But I want to get a smelter set up over here. And I've actually already dug out the room for this, but I've changed my mind and I want to build it over here instead. But if I go over here, you can see the room layout. So I've got the holes dug out in the wall. This is where the furnaces are going to go. And then up top, there's going to be a minecart, and this is going to drop off all of the items. Over here is going to be the input barrel, and then over here is the output. I think over here I'll just store a little bit of fuel or something. And then on this side, I want to have a regular furnace here, and then a smoker, and then a blast furnace. And that's just in case I want to smelt like a few items. So if I'm going to smelt a lot of items in bulk, I'll use this thing. But if I'm just going to smelt a few items, I'll put them over here. And I'm not going to be using these spruce pillars, I'm going to be using bricks and sandstone as the main blocks in here. And that's the reason that I started trading with the villagers over there to get some bricks. It's kind of annoying to get it naturally, so it's just much easier with the villagers. But like I said, I don't actually want to build it there. I want to build it on this side instead. And I think I'm going to put the nether portal there instead. So the nether portal is going to be directly opposite the storage room. And the reason that I've decided to put the furnace room over here is because I've kind of got a good idea, or something that I think's a good idea. It might not turn out so good. But over here I've got this little mini storage room at the side where I keep the shulker boxes. And I am going to decorate this a little bit, obviously, and change it up quite a bit. I'm going to have a few of the anvils and other workstations in here, as well as an enchantment setup. And I thought maybe it'd be a good idea if I had just like a little chest or something in the corner. Then I could put items into that chest, and then they would all get filtered over into the furnace room. So obviously there'd be some water streams and stuff. And then all of the items could go around into the furnace room over here, and then they could all get smelted up. And then when I'm ready, I could just walk over here and then pick up all of the smelted items. So I just thought it'd be a good idea just to have a little system over there where I can put the items in, and then I can just come collect them when I'm ready to do that. So that is the plan for today's episode. Obviously I need to dig the space out first before I get started on it, but this is the exact size that it's going to be. And you might have realised that this is only 7 blocks wide, and the reason for that is because my doorways are an odd number. So if I did this 8 blocks wide, it'd just look a little bit weird and off-centred. So I have to do it either 7 blocks or 9 blocks, and I just think 7 is probably better. So I'm going to be doing it 7 wide. And I've actually never built one of these things before, but I'm not going to follow any tutorials or anything. I'm just going to get to work, start placing some blocks. I don't think it should be that complicated. I think I should be able to manage. So just start placing some blocks down. We'll see what I can come up with, and then I'll probably just show you the finished project and then explain what's going on. Okay, I'm back for an update, and I have finished the smelter over here, but I've not finished the room yet. I've still got to do the roof, the little entrance here, and the floor as well. I don't think I'll be doing this in this episode. I'll probably do it in the next one or in between episodes. But I just don't like doing the roofs and floors for things. I never know how to do them. But I've got the design here with the sandstone and the bricks. I'm just not sure what materials to use for the floor and the roof, so I'll probably sort that in between episodes and I'll show you at the start of the next one. But like I said, the furnace is working now. So I've got a rail up at the top and there's some powered rails behind these levers. So I've got to turn both of these on, and then the minecart hopper will go back and forth. And this is going to drop all of the items inside of the furnaces. There's actually some hoppers just above here. And you can see that there's some rails on top, and the minecart hopper just goes back and forth and it'll drop all of the items off. So I'm going to put a stack of items into the input barrel on this side. So I'm just going to use sand, and then you'll see after probably like 5 seconds these furnaces will start lighting up. So it should be this time here. So all of the items get dropped off into here. So it does spread all of the items out kind of evenly. But because there is 7 furnaces instead of 8, it can't really do it perfectly. So most of these will have the same amount in. So there's 3 in this one, there was 3 in that one, there's none in that one for some reason. I think a lot of them got dropped off in the first few hoppers. The first one actually picks up most of the items. I think that's just something to do with where it stops over here. It doesn't go all the way over to the end. So I think it stays over this final hopper for a little bit longer than the rest of them. So I might have to mess with that a little bit and change it. But it's not really a big deal, so I don't know if I'm too bothered about that. But anyway, the reason that I just decided to build this off camera and I didn't do a tutorial for it is just because it's not a very good design. There's way better designs out there. This thing smelts a stack of items in about 3 minutes. But if you look on YouTube, there's people that have designed some of these that smelt a full stack of items in like 10 seconds and stuff like that. If you just put more furnaces down and then put a little bit more time and effort into it, you can actually make really efficient ones of these. But I just wanted a small one that fits in this space. I don't really smelt a whole lot of items, but when I need to smelt a few stacks of sand or something into glass, I can just put them in there and I can go and do something around the base, and then I can come back like 10 minutes later and I should have most of it smelted over in here. So I had a little bit of a problem and one of the pieces of glass got stuck behind here. So if I just dig behind, I'll show you what's going on. A bit of glass got stuck on the hopper there, but I tested this earlier and that didn't happen, so I might just have to like bring this a little bit further back and then put the soul sand here, and then it'll go up a little bit further back and then it won't get stuck on a hopper anymore. So that's just a little fix. I'll do that in between episodes or just after I've finished recording here. But anyway, I'll just quickly show you what's going on behind. So this is the input chest. So all of the items get put in here, and then it just gets shot out of this dropper. So there's a hopper going into the dropper, a quick dropper clock. I use this all the time, and all of the items get shot upwards and then they end up there. So I've just pillar up here a little bit. You can see that all of the items just get pushed onto here, so they stay on this block, and if I throw them in here, they'll get picked up by the minecart hopper, and then they get put down into the furnaces. So you can see it got put in that furnace there. Obviously it's already cooked, so it won't cook it. But once the minecart's going up and down, I have tested this with, I think, a full double chest of items, and the minecart hopper manages to pick up all of the items before they despawn, so that shouldn't be an issue at all. And I've also got some barrels back here, and this is just for all of the fuel. And I actually don't have a good fuel source at the moment. I've got quite a lot of coal blocks, so that's what I'm using. You can see the coal blocks, and then there's some more in the hoppers. I put 2 stacks of coal blocks in all of these barrels, but I don't really want to be using coal forever. I think I want to go and build a kelp farm at some point and use kelp blocks. It should be quite easy to fill all of these barrels with them, and that should last quite a while. So I might actually do that in the next episode. I don't want to build a 0-tick one like last time. I want to try a different method. So I probably will do that in the next episode because I want quite a lot of fuel just to stock this up. But anyway, that's how this thing works. It's pretty simple. It didn't take too long to build. Like I said, I don't think I will be using it too often. I don't really smelt a whole lot of stuff, but it's just going to be useful to have this just for when I need it. And I've also got these things over here like I mentioned earlier. So if I just need to come and smelt a few items, I can just use a furnace. I've got the blast furnace and then the smoker. That's just if I need to come and smelt like 1 stack of items. There's not really too much point of using this. So that's why I've just put these over here as well. And I'll probably mess around with the decoration a little bit. I'm not too sure about this bit over here. and obviously I've still got the floor and the roof to do. Next up for this episode, I just want to look at one of the new items that got added to the game last night. And it's kind of weird that it got added last night because yesterday I did the intro to this video and I actually mentioned about how they were not in Bedrock Edition yet. So I wanted to craft some candles and I was looking through the recipes and stuff, and I just couldn't figure out how to craft them because I knew they were in Java Edition, but it turns out they were not in Bedrock Edition yet. And then last night they actually got added to the game. So this is how you craft them, I think. So I'm just going to get some more honeycomb and then I'll put the shears back. And I think you just need honeycomb and string. And yeah, you can actually craft them now. So I can craft 21. And I think you actually have to light these with flint and steel. So I got the flint and steel now. And you can just light it like that. I'm not entirely sure if it goes down like a real life candle or not. But I think these look kind of cool. And you can actually dye them all of the different colours as well, you can see here. But I don't have a dye farm at the moment, so I'm not going to be able to get all of these different dyes. But I have a lot of red, so I'm just going to make a red one. So I actually want to use these around the base where I can, but I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. I'm going to see if I can go in here and put them on top of the chandelier. I'm not sure how that's going to look though. So for some reason, I actually can't place them on top of here. So if I come up here, I'm trying to place them on top of the fences, but it's just not letting me do that. So I'm not sure why that's happening. Maybe it's because the lanterns are underneath or something. So I think I'm just going to leave that for now. It was an idea, but it probably just isn't going to work. But I am going to have to add all of these different colours of candles over to the checklist over here. And these chests are getting a little bit full, so I'll probably just add another chest and then put all the different colours of candles in. But like I said, I don't have a dye farm at the moment, so it's kind of hard to get all of the different colours. I did manage to get all of the different versions of copper though. So you can see at the top, I've got all of the normal ones. So this is the copper, and then the exposed, the weathered, and the oxidized. All of the stairs and slabs as well. And then down at the bottom, I've got the exact same, but all of this stuff is waxed. So I'm pretty sure this is all of the different variants of copper. And then of course I've got just the ingot and then the lightning rod at the bottom as well. And I do actually really like these blocks, especially the oxidized stuff at the end. So I think I'm going to start building with some of this soon. But I do need to go and get a lot more copper because I don't really have a whole lot at the moment. But anyway, I'm kind of running out of time to record for today's episode. So what I want to do to end it off, which I usually do, is go mining for a little bit of ancient debris. So I'll get 3 stacks of TNT out of here. And then I'm just going to head to the nether and I'll do a quick session.